All right, so you guys want to know how you can be successful with drop shipping on Amazon in 2020? Well, listen up. I'm going to tell you everything you need to know so you guys can make that moolah after January 1st.
Welcome to the Roughnecks. I'm Rico, your e-com instructor. I'm a software engineer, a military veteran, and a six-figure e-com seller. I've helped over 400 students on Amazon alone, and thousands more make money online. If you need to know anything about making money, you're gonna find it out right here.
Yo, so what's up, guys? Welcome back to the Roughnecks Ecom channel.
Welcome to the Roughnecks. Rico's Roughnecks!
If you guys are new here, I am your host, 𝒕𝒏𝒄𝒂𝒓, aka Rico, and over here we talk all about how to make money online, offline, and everywhere in between. So if that sounds good to you, make sure you guys smash that like button. Smash the like button, man. Subscribe to the channel, obviously, and click the little notification bell so that way you can get updated with all the good stuff, and then get into the free Facebook group below. It's down there, check it out. Because I hook you guys up with all types of stuff that I don't drop on YouTube. For all you regulars, yo, you guys know what time it is. Go ahead, let's get right into it. So, you guys wanna know how you can become successful or stay successful drop shipping on Amazon in 2020. Now, if you guys have not been staying up to date with a lot of things that have been happening, a lot more suspensions have been coming down, at least in the retail arbitrage world when it comes to like drop shipping from Walmart and all that stuff. So I'm gonna hook you guys up right here, right now. We're gonna talk about RA, we're gonna talk about private label drop shipping, wholesale drop shipping, and everything to kind of blend together to help you guys out, okay? So let's go ahead, but before we get into it, I'm gonna give away a $50 Amazon gift card, and it's gonna depend on who can go ahead and get the secret code, all right? So throughout this video, you gotta watch all the way to the end, unfortunately, guys, sorry. But throughout the video, my man 𝒕𝒏𝒄𝒂𝒓 back there, he's gonna hook you guys up with some letters, all right? It's gonna spell a phrase. Whoever can spell the phrase and drop it into the comment section below will get the $50 Amazon gift card. Whoever can do it first, guys, so hey, get to it. All right, so with that being said, let's go ahead, Chris, let's break it down. Now, a lot of you guys are doing Amazon retail arbitrage. That would be drop shipping from like Walmart, Lowe's, Home Depot, stuff like that. Now, obviously you guys know that I'm all about that private label drop shipping life, baby, but retail arbitrage is a good way for people to get into the game, kind of learn how it all works, and you know, build a fledgling business from there. Even though the margins are much smaller for the unskilled drop shipper, you can still make a little bit of money. Now, you guys may or may not know, but Walmart has definitely been cracking down a lot more on drop shipping. Now, I'm not saying that you guys can't do it from Walmart or whatever, but they've been dropping down a little bit as of late. So you got to be careful because they are canceling orders right and left. And moving forward into 2020, you may have to find a more dependable retail arbitrage supplier. Same thing goes with Bed Bath & Beyond and Bye Bye Baby. Bed Bath & Beyond was amazing for drop shippers, but as of late, a lot of the accounts have been getting flagged for drop shipping, and then now you have to wait and say like, hey, you know, I have a small drop shipping business and all this, and depending on how many orders you guys are getting per day, that could be a big deal if you have to wait a week to get your account verified. So you guys might want to steer away from that and find more niche type suppliers, you know, more obscure suppliers, I should say, things that most, you know, suppliers that most people are not going to be going for. You know, so I'll obviously leave that up to you. Software like OA Genius and my personal favorite, 𝒬𝒄𝒄𝒄, shout out to my man Ron, can help you do that, okay? Which leads me into point number 2 when it comes to retail arbitrage and making sure that you're successful in 2020. You guys are going to need really good software, and those 2 software that I mentioned are probably the best when it comes to drop shipping on Amazon. Me personally, 𝒬𝒄𝒄𝒄, because my man Ron is the genius behind all that, and he helps me out and make sure that me and my clients are very successful no matter what we're doing, whether it's private label, RA, or wholesale. So make sure you guys check that out. You get a free trial. You know, I'll put a link to 𝒬𝒄𝒄𝒄 below. I don't get paid to promote his stuff. I just love the product. But when you guys are doing retail arbitrage, you need to have a really good software because you have to be able to find good products with good margins. And sometimes you're not going to know the suppliers that you can go with. So Ron has a good chunk of suppliers, has a good list of suppliers that you guys can use to help you with your retail arbitrage dropshipping business. Okay. Now, you guys know retail arbitrage is against Amazon's terms of service, but I'm going to try to help you guys out and give you some tips moving forward into 2020. So don't kill me if you guys get suspended because it is against Amazon's terms of service, but a lot of my friends do it, I've done it, and it works out just fine as long as you know what you're doing. Now, you guys obviously are not going to be professionals, but if you build up that skill set, you can get away with it. Now, when it comes to private label drop shipping on Amazon, you guys know I love all of that stuff right there because that is what I am known for. So let's go ahead and let's talk about that. Now with private label drop shipping moving forward into the new year, things have changed a little bit when it comes to private label drop shipping. A lot of the suppliers that I had used outside of Eric, you guys, if you didn't know, we have a drop shipping agent that handles a lot of our orders. But, you know, for the other items that we have, you know, we use, you know, suppliers, Chinese suppliers, and a couple from Pakistan, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, so a lot of the suppliers have been disappearing overnight, and that is probably due to more and more Chinese suppliers getting on Amazon themselves and doing FBA and, you know, basically kicking people in the teeth, you know, filing like frivolous IP claims and all that stuff. So you guys can't just go in and start listing all the things that you want, because there are going to be a lot of IP infringements based on what you're listing. If you guys are trying to list like big brands, like, you know, items based on Rick and Morty, Pokemon, stuff like that, you guys are going to get hit really, really hard. And you'll get multiple IP violations depending on if your products have variations. So what I want you guys to do is start branching out and finding non-branded items. And as I always say, you guys need to have your core items. Your core items are going to be the things that sell all year round. Okay, it doesn't matter what season it is, doesn't matter the weather, doesn't matter if it's a holiday or not. These things are going to be your baseline. Okay, these are going to be your baseline items. You really, really, really have to pay attention to that, okay? Your baseline items can be, you know, anything like everyday items. They can be pillows. You know, people need pillows, guys, all right? You know, just bought new pillows today so I can rest my head and relax, okay? But, you know, pillows are definitely something that you guys can do. Clothing will typically be a good baseline. Things, and then from there, you guys will have like your big ticket items, you know, some of your trending items, you know, pick things, I'd say, like, let's say it's summertime, right? And what do people use during the summertime? They use like folding chairs. You know, they folding chairs for the beach, you know, garden hoses. I'm just giving you an example. I wouldn't sell garden hoses, but that's something that people would use during the summer. You know, you want to have your baseline products, then you want to have, you know, some of your trending items, and you want to have your big ticket items. Okay, so your big ticket items are going to be things, I typically don't mess with electronics, but they would be, you know, your high margin items. Let's say things like cameras, you know, maybe televisions, stuff like that. I'm just giving you some examples of high ticket items, high ticket, high margin items, not necessarily saying that's what you should be selling, okay? So take that with a grain of salt. Do not necessarily sell those, but try to find items that are very high margin. You want to find things that are, you know, anywhere from 40 to 100% margin. And those are going to be the ones that don't sell very often, but when they do sell, you're making a very, very, you know, large profit on those, okay? Your baseline items are typically going to be the things that are doing like 10 to 20%. Your high ticket items are obviously going to be the ones doing, you know, 40+%, and then you'll have your trending items that, you know, can be anywhere in between. Typically your trending items, more people are going to be jumping on those as well, so you're not going to see near as high as a margin. You probably see anywhere between 5 to 15%, but when you're doing, you know, 10, 15 a day, you know, that you can kind of make up for that with volume, okay? So make sure you guys have your base layer, make sure you have your high ticket, and then make sure you have your trending items, okay? These are things that are, you know, more seasonal, more trendy, like let's say during like the new Marvel movie or whatever, let's say like Avengers Endgame. Avengers Endgame came out, and obviously that was trending, so, you know, try to take that into consideration. And then talk about wholesale. Now wholesale is going to be a little bit different for everybody because some people are going to be more inclined to sell things that they're more comfortable with. Like for me, I'm obviously in the automotive space, you know, car shop and all that. So for me, I sell a lot of automotive products when it comes to wholesale, just because I've had those wholesale suppliers for quite some time now. What I recommend moving into 2020 is most people will be like, oh, I'm going to get into wholesale, but they don't necessarily get established contracts with the established brands. You guys are getting contracts with like a big, you know, supplier, and that doesn't always work out, especially, you know, on Amazon, right? So what you're going to need to do is go directly to the manufacturer. Like for instance, with 𝒕𝒄𝒄𝒃, I can get, you know, like Cobb items through Extreme PSI or 𝒕𝒄𝒄𝒃, places like that, but Cobb may not have given me explicit permission to sell on Amazon. So even though I have set up wholesale contracts with 𝒕𝒄𝒄𝒃 and Extreme PSI, Cobb did not give me explicit permission to sell their items at lower than market price on Amazon or some other platform, right? So you are going to need to go directly to the supplier. And I'm seeing more and more people get shut down for IP complaints through wholesale. And even though you guys do have contracts established with these wholesale suppliers, you're not necessarily going directly to the brand. So in 2020 and beyond, you guys are going to need to start stepping up and start making, getting contracts signed with the brand owners themselves. Okay, be very, very mindful, be very, very careful of this, because a lot of people assume that, hey, I went to this big wholesale supplier, I'm good, I don't have to worry about anything, I'm straight, baby, I'm straight. That is not always going to be the case. Sometimes you're going to get kicked in the teeth, you're going to get hit with IP violations, and then your account's going to get suspended, even though you do have an active and valid contract with these big wholesale suppliers. Okay, guys, so remember, let's go ahead, let's recap on your retail arbitrage side. You guys are going to need to make sure that you have very good suppliers, and you're going to find new suppliers. They're going to need to be good, but you're going to have to find new suppliers from what you were using, if it's like Bed Bath & Beyond, buybuy BABY, Walmart, so on. And make sure you guys have really good software to keep track of that and help you do good product research. For me, just to give you guys a tip, if I was going to be getting into retail arbitrage and finding items, I would try to find items that have been sold within the last like 20 to 30 days, roughly 5 times within the last 20 to 30 days, because then you know that there is some demand for those items. Now, I'm not saying that is the golden rule, but that's one of the standards that I look for. So also, you guys need to be very, very mindful of your margins. Okay, the software can only do so much. You guys are going to have to verify with your suppliers more often than not. Okay, moving on to private label dropshipping. You guys are going to have to be real on top of your suppliers moving forward, and be careful with IP violations when it comes to private label, because a lot of the Chinese suppliers have now moved on to the Amazon platform, and you may or may not be getting frivolous IP claims. And you want to make sure that you guys have a direct line to your suppliers. If you're using overseas suppliers, explicitly China, make sure you guys are aware of the holidays and so on, because they do go on a lot of holidays. They have a lot of festivals that we are not aware of over here in the States. So keep an open line of communication, and make sure you guys have your base layer of items, your high ticket items, high margin, and then you have your trending and like seasonal products, which are going to help you during those certain amount of times. And then for you wholesale guys, make sure that you are on your grind and get valid contracts with the brands themselves, not necessarily just with wholesale suppliers, but the brands themselves. If you are unsure, when you look on Amazon, if the only person selling that brand is the brand themselves, you need to contact the brand directly. Okay, that is going to be a telltale sign if you can sell that item, and that goes for anything. Okay, it doesn't matter whether you're doing retail arbitrage, private label, or wholesale. If you're selling private label and you're like, man, I really want to sell like this dog water bottle that has a little dish on top, that might be a patented item, right? That may be trademarked already, and if you decide to sell that, even though it's your own, that design is trademarked, and then you're going to get hit with an IP violation, and that product is no longer going to be good to go, especially if you're doing private label FBA. That could be very detrimental to your business. It'd be extremely destructive, and you could lose thousands of dollars in inventory because they're like, oh, you can no longer sell that on Amazon. Okay, when it comes to retail arbitrage, yeah, you might want to check on that. Okay, so a lot of times there will be items that are only sold by that particular brand or manufacturer. Make sure you are on it. So if you look at the software and you're like, oh man, only one seller, oh yeah, this is definitely something I want to get on. Be very mindful, because you need to check and see if that seller is the brand themselves. And if it is and there's no one else, you might want to step back and then find something else. Okay, so that's how you guys are going to be successful drop shipping on Amazon moving forward into 2020. If you guys have any questions, make sure you hit me up in the comment section. I'm here to help you. It doesn't matter what the question is, I'm going to answer it. Just please don't make it be a stupid one. So that being said, man, get into the free Facebook group below. If you have not done so, please smash that like button, hit it, subscribe, and then click the little notification bell, man. You guys already know what to do. I shouldn't have to tell you that. You guys are grown folks, right? So be safe, be smart. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.